I say is alleged, my opinion, and for entertainment purposes only.
Letitia, let me ask you something. Why the hell you accept Keke's apology if you was gonna stomp off like a little girl and feel betrayed and all this stupidness? Grow the fuck up. And Mel ain't got nothing to do with what's going on between you and Keke. Obviously wanted Keke in the group to mend things, but you're not mature enough for that. And now, how in one breath you gonna say you mentors to everybody and then break down crying because you want to kick Keke out? I'm not understanding. If you're gonna be a mentor to everybody, be a mentor to everybody. And once Keke apologized and said she wasn't staying at the house anyway, the team building should have went on. But no, Martell had to make it about him. And we all know this was a cash trip and Keke was supposed to be there, but you know. Let's get into this review of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 6, Episode 30, Houston. We have a Keke. So we open up with the trust activity where they have two people and they have to catch each other when they fall back. The highlight for me was Mel falling to the floor. She said she trusts the floor more than she trusts Martell. And I don't blame her. And Martell got the nerve to get in his confessional and say, Mel's acting funny because we around the people and she don't want to be perceived. Why you keep trying to paint this notion that Mel treats you kind outside of filming? I just don't get that from her. After all you've done to her, get the hell out of here with that. Tisha and Keke, Tisha and Stormy, they catch each other. Who else was it that stuck out? Nobody else. Let's move on. We see Keke coming up the driveway to come into the house in her poom poom style shots. Okay. And she gets in there. She's like, hey, I'm here. And everybody looking like a what? Tisha in her confessional says she don't know why she's here because it was a cash trip and she was asked to be there. So Nell explains why she invited Keke. She gives Keke the floor. Keke apologizes first to Kimmy and Maurice, you know, for acting up at her house. She then apologizes to Tisha for throwing a drink on her. She ain't say nothing to Marceau, but she apologized to everybody for being there. Now, Kimmy and
Maurice accepts her apology, but they said the apology was a month too late.
When the apology came, she apologized. Did you apologize, Kimmy, for jumping on her back like a banshee? Or like you on drugs, as Marceau would say, from the way your behavior was? Here we go with Tisha being dramatic. You accept her apology and then walk out? Stand on your word. Tell them how you feel. But no, you're going to let Marceau talk. So immature.
Or getting your confession.
So Nell goes off to talk to Tisha and Marceau. Nell says that, you know, she should have followed her first instincts. But your first instincts was y'all was mentors to everybody. I'm not understanding what's going on here. Tisha feels like she should have had a conversation with her. Okay. But it's the Fletcher's trip. Okay. She can invite who she wants. It's the Fletcher's trip. Just like Martell had a stranger in the house. And y'all ain't have a problem with that. Okay. Why Nell want to keep bringing up, she spoke to Mel and Mel, she told Mel to call me, but you the one that invited her. Why are you saying, because now Letitia want to use Mel now. Now it's going to be about Mel. Instead of what her initial issue was Keke. So Nell apologizes to Letitia and she says that Keke has to go and that she's going to fix it. I just need to know, right? If this is a team building trip to get the cast to get along, why is this being made about Letitia? I'm not understanding. So Nell goes back in, let everybody know that she talked to Tisha and Marceau and that Keke will have to leave the house. And Keke was like, that's fine. I'm not staying here anyway. And Stormy was like, well, she's staying with us. So that's all. So Mel tried to clear things up. So you talked to Letitia and she said it was a no. And here go Marceau with his gaslight talking. I don't even know what he was saying, but it all circled back to Martell only telling his side of the story. And then the whole thing explodes. Okay. What happened to it being on Tisha and Keke? I'm not understanding. Because Martell and Marceau got to make it about them. So for me, once Keke apologized, once Keke said, okay, fine, I can't stay here. I wasn't staying here anyway. The team building could have went on. This is the problem with the Black collective and why we can't get it together. Remove your egos, okay? Let's take it outside the show and just let's use this scenario. We all going on a team building trip. Let's say you're going with your company on a team building trip. You don't get along with everybody on your job, but in a team building trip, you take one for the team.
There's no I in team, Letitia.
And you never know, it could resolve a lot of issues. But I ain't going to go on about this. Let's move on to Martell yell. Can I ask why Stormy and Courtney moved out the way? Did production tell them to move? Or they got out the way on their own? So Marcel and Martell start getting into it. Martell is upset that, you know, Marcel is talking about he only got one side. And here go Letitia talking about, Marcel, did you find out what Mel did? Mel ain't got nothing to do with this. Why you keep bringing Mel up? Oh, I know why. Because you think Mel betrayed you.
And side note, did you see Martell put his hands on Marcel's shoulder and smack his hand down? He a whole big bully because he ain't getting his way.
So while Marielle is arguing with Miss Nell and saying that her, Chris, and Marcel never took their side and asked Melody what she did wrong, Nell walks away. She was like, I will punch Martell in his face. So she gets in there and she was like, you know, he keep asking me why, you know, Mel cheated or something like that. And here go Tisha off to the side. He feels like everybody keeps blaming him, but nobody asks Mel.
Now, this the same bobblehead Letitia that don't want nobody talking about her marriage, okay? But she butting her nose.
Tisha, how is it that you got so much to say when it comes to Mel, but you need to talk about what's going on between you and Keke? You ain't got nothing to say. Do Keke got something on you? So Nell told Martell he need to take accountability. He said he did, but it's just that they not taking his side. Child,
so Nell said, I asked Mel on camera if she cheated on you. You happy now? He said, it's not about the cameras. It's about y'all asking me questions about me cheating, but y'all ain't asking her stuff. Oh, God, I can't. Pick a battle.
Get over it, dude.
So Martell is mad because Nell is taking Mel's side. She done told you she's a woman and she been through what Mel went through. Why can't you understand that? So he had to let everybody know that Mel cheated. And Mel was like, we gonna clear this up. She said she found out in 2017 that he was cheating with his baby mama, the side chick, Ariane. And she caught him in the truck at homecoming with the side chick. And she left the house and got her own apartment. So whatever happened after that, oh well, because she thought her marriage was going to be over. But what Martell can't grasp is he cheated first and had a baby. Okay. Oh, now Martell want to play on semantics, okay? She was still married, though. So were you.
Oh, okay, after you cheated on her for 2 years? Your points ain't landing. Mars yelled. It's not landing because not only did you cheat, you cheated, had a baby, and not only did you have a baby, you had a baby by a disrespectful ass woman who to this day is still talking about her stealing someone's husband. She's weird. At the end of the day, Martell just want to be right in saying that Melody cheated too while she was still married. He want to play semantics, okay? I like that Stormy stepped up and tried to get him to understand what it was. And Kimmy, her male identifying self, gonna talk about, so because one spouse cheated, it all goes out the... Girl, shut up. Just because you sit there and let Maurice do what he want to do and you stay in the marriage, everybody's situation is different. So Marcel goes in the kitchen and says, Mel treated us wrong. That's why he took Martell's side. And Melody was like, well, what did I do? And something about saying Martell put batteries in people's back, which he do. He want people to be on his side. Marceau ends up saying, basically, like, you invited Keke, blah, blah, blah. She said, I did not invite Keke. She has a conversation with Tisha to let her know that she was not the one that invited Keke. It was Nell. And Nell had not told her. So Tisha, in her confessional, says she's glad Mel didn't invite Keke and she wasn't being sneaky. Girl, shut up. So they wrap it up to go move on to their next activity, which is horseback riding. And them sitting down with some counselor or somebody. So Chris Fletcher gets in a confessional with Nell and says that Keke is there to apologize, but I don't think she's What is she supposed to get? Help me out.
And that Martell derailed them from walking Keke out the door.
She apologized. She laid it out on the table. If it was received or not, she did what she was supposed to do for herself. And then them. She laid the apology out on the table. What is she supposed to get? Oh my God, Tisha, shut up. She's talking about Keke could have ruined the trip. How? Keke ain't bothering nobody. She on the horse trail like everybody else. She ain't saying nothing to you. How's she gonna ruin the trip? Keke came in there apologizing and ain't bothering nobody else. It's Martell that's messing up the damn trip. With all that yelling and giving people headaches and shit. So Tisha says she's done with Keke. She don't want to interact with her or nothing. You said the same thing about Melody. You said the same thing about Kimmy when you fell out with them. Bye, Tisha. This a show. You gotta learn to be cordial. You don't want to be around her, don't shoot no scenes with her.
But I can guarantee you Keke is more entertaining than you. Because you and Marceau ain't going to have a storyline if y'all don't include Keke.
So Kimmy stays back with the counselor because she was scared to get on the horse. So they sit down and talk to this therapist. And Nell starts and was like, she invited Keke. She called her yesterday and she wanted to know if she could come down to the trip.
But she didn't realize that Letitia was uncomfortable with her being there. This is all a bunch of bullshit to me. But anyway, Stormy steps in and was like, listen, we making this all about Keke. And Keke came with good energy. And it makes it hard to show up the right way when the past keep being thrown in your face. It should be a space where we can move on and Letitia and Keke have a conversation. But who speaks up next? Marcel. Why are you talking? It should be Letitia talking. I ain't gonna repeat what he said,
because he talks in these riddles and I don't really understand.
At the end of it, he gonna talk about, we're showing growth and Letitia with her growth. So if y'all showing growth, why y'all can't say to Keke, you know what? At this very moment, we don't want nothing to do with you. But time will heal all. And it should be coming from Letitia. This is what I'm having a whole problem with. Why is Letitia stuck on mute? She got all these accolades from Mel and how they moved on, but she ain't say not a word to her cousin Keke. I get that y'all have strife right now. I get it. But what's wrong with saying, you know what, Keke, you my cousin, you my family, and right now, I just don't want to have anything to do with you. You know, time will tell all, it will heal all, and maybe we'll be in a better place. What's wrong with saying that, Letitia? Instead of letting Marcel talk for you. I guess that's what annoyed me the most in that particular scene. Matter of fact, the other scene too, after the team building. Yeah. Marcel always talking for Letitia when she should be handling it herself. Especially when it's another woman. But anyway, they ended this doggone session with this counselor on a good note, I guess. Keke sat there pretty much quiet. You could tell she was bothered, in my opinion. That's what I saw. I'm surprised Kimmy and Maurice ain't had nothing to say because they ain't got no storyline, but they always jumping in somebody's business. Nothing was going on between Martell and Mel, surprisingly, at this counseling session. So I don't know if the next episode is going to finish off this session. I'm not sure, but no, it can't because they ended it. So, but anyway, there was this big hoopla about this Houston trip and Keke being on this Houston trip. And to see it on this TV screen, it was not much to it. I'm not understanding.
Now, for me, what I didn't like is that this was supposed to be a team building event and for everybody to get along, and for it to turn into the Letitia pouting and walking off show was some bullshit. Okay. And the counseling session was bullshit too, because it was about Keke. I'm not understanding. It's supposed to be a team building event. Nobody else had nothing to say. So Keke the new star of the show, in my opinion. And lastly, Keke, if you get to come back next season, you need to counsel with somebody on how to work this show in your favor. And totally ignore your cousin Letitia and get your shine. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you know when my next video comes out. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.